Hey, Tori, what's up? I'm just about to put the link. Well, another Sunday. I was live back on Tuesday. That's the last time I was live. Hope Sam Hill drops by, but let's see. He might even go live. Sam Hill. Maybe Equal 8 might drop by. Who knows? Oh, wait up.
Hey,
Hey, hello, Corey.
I have to check and see if my YouTube is open or not. Okay,
Okay.
so just hang in there.
All right.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, it doesn't seem like my YouTube is open. It goes straight to StreamYard. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
how have you
Hey,
been?
you were. Well, I've been fine, thanks. And you were gone, huh? You moved to New Jersey, huh?
Yep, I'm in Jersey. I'm going to show you. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on a second. I'm going to turn my camera on and I'll
Uh,
show you some of the really
okay.
old architecture they have here in this town.
Okay. Hey, hello, Jimmy. How are you?
Can you see it?
Oh, that's yeah, I see it. Is that like Yale, where Yale University is, or
This is
Princeton or
where
something?
the affluent live. I'm not going to live
Ah,
here.
okay.
This is where I'm staying right now.
Okay.
I'm staying with some affluent
Okay.
people.
Oh, cool.
So, but isn't it? This is a pretty cool place.
Oh, cool, Jimmy. Yeah. Oh, that's
But
nice.
like, it's not my. It's not my place.
Okay, I got you.
I'm staying with my other kids, my daughter this time.
Okay, yes, you told me that one time that
Yeah, it's been a while.
you were
I
planning.
guess I had to go to Santa Barbara first because they were in Santa Barbara, and I stayed
Oh,
with
that's
them
good.
there, and because her husband was working in Santa Barbara
That's
for
good.
this,
Oh,
but just for the summer.
you missed a lot, and a lot was going on this week.
Well, I caught a little bit of it. I caught a little bit of the whiskey stuff with
Yeah,
Mandolin.
yeah,
That was a really good live she did. I watched
yeah.
that this
Last night
morning, or
I
I
watched part
watched
of that.
about half of it. Yeah, I watched about half of it this morning, and
Yeah,
I thought, excellent job, Mandolin. Don't let this guy shake you down that way. He's terrible. He's the reason why I have a YouTube channel. No, he's not really the reason, but he's a good reason to have a voice around here because it's just not nice what he's doing. So whatever.
yeah,
Good for
yeah.
Mandolin.
I
And you know
tell
what?
you,
Like, I guess a lot of people are afraid of him because of he is so harsh. But I'm not afraid of him. He's afraid of me. He blocked me. He's afraid he's going to say something bad about me, and then you know something will
he,
rain down fire
he
and
even blocked me
brimstone
too.
on him. Huh?
He even blocked me too.
Yeah. Well, like he's scared of the nicer people around here
He's
because,
blocked
and
a
now
lot of people.
he's even afraid of his girlfriend. You know.
They broke out. They broke up.
Oh, did they? When did that happen?
I think it was sometime during the week. He
Did he
taught.
break up with her?
Yes, he treated her like dirt on the panel.
That's not cool.
Mm.
This is why I noticed that Kathy uh, Rebuilds in the chat was asking Mandolin, does anyone know what happened to Sammy? Do you remember Sammy?
Sammy who? Sammy.
Sammy
Nick.
G. Sammy G
Yeah,
was one of Wog's girlfriends. Very brief
yeah. I
encounter.
remember him.
And he
Mm.
literally, she told him how shy she was, and he literally embarrassed her on live. And
Mm.
then she went and hung out with Lycan Theory because she felt safe over there. If you feel safe with
Mhm.
Lycan Theory, that means that Whiskey OG is really terrible. Some terrible shit
Oh
must
my
have
god.
happened. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's bad. If you're looking for a safe place and you go to Lycan, it's really bad what he
Yeah.
must have done to her. To her head, and
Mhm.
then he does it publicly to misfit Jenny. That's crazy. There's something wrong. Like sometimes I think there's a little bit more to what than what we're seeing. There's more than meets the eye here with this guy.
Yeah.
Like he exhibits some characteristics of my son that passed away. You know,
Oh yeah.
and
You
so
told me about him. Your
and
son.
so
Yeah.
I feel a little concerned about him now, especially since he's like literally burning himself down to the ground
Hmm. Well,
for I
yeah.
don't know what his reason is. I don't know why, but it seems to me, like people that have like he has some kind of paranoia. He's extremely paranoid, and that's not a good sign for anybody.
No. I know
So
where
what
he's
else
coming. I
happened?
used to.
What else happened?
Uh. Well, there was there was some stuff with Molly Golightly
Oh,
going
really?
on. I'm not sure what it was. Yeah.
I saw a little bit of
Molly.
her last week, and she was talking about like everyone should be afraid of something. I don't know. She was warning people,
Oh yeah, Molly. Yeah,
but she does that.
yeah. I can. Yeah, I can.
it kind of makes no sense, the things that she says. When she starts giving advice, all of a sudden, nothing makes sense anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
a
Also
that's
her.
a bus behind me. Let me try and get away from this
Uh,
noise. Goodness
how
me.
how
This,
how's the
this
weather
is
over there?
it's in the 80s.
Find yourself a shade or something.
I am. I'm under an umbrella.
Oh,
The
that's good.
coffee shop the coffee shop closed early, but they left their umbrellas out. So, or
Ah.
maybe they're gonna bring them in a few minutes. But I'm under a tree and
Yeah.
behind a building, so I'm still okay.
Yeah.
It was supposed to close at 5, but I guess it's because of
Oh.
the holiday.
Well,
They're
here, I
supposed
mean,
to.
it is very hot here. You're having a heat wave here in Southern California. It's been like that since Wednesday. Wednesday, and they say it's gonna continue all the way like to Tuesday night. Hey Sam, what's up, man? Come up, man.
Oh, Sam Hill.
Yeah, Sam
I've
Hill.
heard about Sam Hill. I've never talked to you before. Why didn't you come up?
Yeah. There's the link right there, Sam. And he's been having some issues. Somebody bomb bombed him the other day.
So where are you, Sam? That it's 90 degrees. I think it's 86 here, but
Well, here
it's like 4 p.m.
yeah. Well, here is 79 degrees. I'm on the coast.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cooler
he's
over there.
probably inland. If it's 90, he's probably inland for sure. Because I heard some places near my or where I am, a place called Escondido, a place called Ramona, they're going to be like nearly 100 degrees today.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't feel like it's 86 to me here because it's not humid.
Mhm.
It's a dry heat.
No, no. Yeah. When it's dry, it's different, But here it's cloudy and since up by the beach, we're having some winds outside, which is good because you don't want to be when it's humid and there's no wind. That sucks. I've been through that in Mexico many times, where it's
So
humid
you
and
were
there's
gonna
no
tell
wind.
me you were gonna tell me what else happened with Molly. What else happened to her? She was like
Well,
bat- battling with someone, right? Without a crystal
yeah,
ball.
it was something like that. Yeah. Oh my
And
God,
then
90 degrees, Demi. Oh my God, 90 degrees, but it feels like one. Oh yeah, I bet, Demi. Yeah, and everybody's having bad weather, man.
feels like 94. That's
Yeah,
funny.
like yeah, I bet. Yeah, I seen that kind of weather. And I've been through that kind of weather myself. Worse than that, I was in Mexicali one time in the middle of the summer. Oh my God, you feel like you're somebody threw a Molotov cocktail on you. You feel like your body's burning up. Okay, who is this
Is
guy,
Sam
David?
is Sam Hill coming up?
Is that you, Sam Hill? Can I see you? Can I see you? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
show
Sam. It's
yourself.
Sam.
It's him.
Okay, yeah, it's Sam. Okay.
It's me. So nice to meet you,
Hey,
Dory.
hey,
Hi,
Sam.
Sam.
I
I didn't. Yeah, she used to go to Evil Ape Sleep bedtime.
I come in as David. I was doing a promo for our Tuesday show called The Sad Case of the Girdle Man. And I put on the name of the Girdle Man and kept it on
Uh,
there. So I apologize.
hey, man. Hey, Sam. I'm sorry what happened to you, man. Like, late Jano, who was it that bomb
Hmm.
bombed you? Was it Reb or late Jano?
Yeah, let me explain that. if I may. Dory, the nature of change. Some people get better. In this case, there's a slime bucket named Rev, and he got worse. So
Yeah,
Dory,
I feel bad about that.
thank you. For a year and a half, 2 years, this guy Rev was my co-host, and he would criticize me, and that's fair, but he never went low. He never went low. And this just recently, he came on air and we were grooving because he stopped saying the N-word. You see, I had removed him before because no hate words are allowed on, I have a little stream called Sam Hill American, and he stopped hating, man. And I let him up for a stream and we did good. And he came up a second time and we were grooving, doing good. And all of a sudden, this Marie comes up, and on air, Dory, he said her real name. Her real
So
name.
was it
I don't want to say it.
was it Sip Some Tea with Marie?
It's the Marie. I don't want to say her real name, but she's been on with me.
Yeah.
So
I probably know who she is, but
yeah.
I don't know who you
Well,
mean.
let me describe her. She's from England, and she has a English accent, and she's been on many shows. And she found love on the internet with a man named Winkler.
Oh,
And
Winkler, I know Winkler.
she lives in England, and through their romance, he was a drunk. He stopped drinking and went to be with her in England. And both of them came on
Is that Russell?
No.
Okay. There was another lady from England who fell in love online. And then I think it was Russell. And then they broke up because he was mean
You
to
mean
her.
Russell Bailey?
I'm not sure.
There was this guy from England who was going around called Russell Bailey. And he came on my show, and I didn't know who he was. And then was this nice lady who came on my show, and I heard later that Russell Bailey had moved in with this lady, and it turned out that he had some kind of conviction for an offense against children. Icky, vile, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I heard that's the guy.
Him.
I heard that the authorities went to this lady because he moved in with her and she had children, and they said to her, you cannot have this man who got convicted of offenses move in and stay with you. And if you do, and I won't mention her name, if you do, we have to take your children. And she had a choice. Oh, the choice she had, love versus the love of her children. And you know what she did, Dory? That I heard.
She kept her children.
She kept the man and the people, the authorities took the children, is what I heard.
No.
Well, I didn't hear that. I heard that she kept her kids and dumped him.
Well, I haven't heard in many months. So I think you're probably right. And I'm glad that happened. I haven't heard in months. But that's the last I've
people
heard of
always
that
try
guy.
to make a woman look bad, especially if something like that happens. You know, it's not her fault that happened. It's his fault for not.
Well, it's her responsibility if she has children. Sometimes we have hard decisions, right?
True. No, I'm just saying that it's not her fault that he didn't give her full disclosure. And
well, I don't know if he knew or not. I think once she had the facts, then she had that Sophie's Choice. I did a stream once. There was a famous book by William Styron called Sophie's Choice.
Yeah, Meryl Streep starred in that movie.
And you remember what the choice was?
Yeah, her son, or her daughter.
So I think it was based on a real incident. And if it wasn't, in the concentration camp during World War II, she was sent to a concentration camp. She wasn't a Jew. She was a Catholic Polish woman. And a lot of other people went to concentration camps. And she had 2 children, and she arrived, and she was put in line, and there was an evil Nazi doctor, Mengele-like, and he was sadistic. And when Sophie came to him, they were lined up. He said, "You basically have a choice: one child to the left and death, and one child to the right." And so that's a vile choice. But to this woman with Bailey, she had a terrible choice. And you tell me that eventually it sounds like she made the right choice and got her children back, which makes me feel happy.
I don't think she ever lost her children. I think that's a rumor.
Okay, and rumors can frequently be wrong. And she was DMing me for a while because we liked each other. She was on my show, and we stopped DMing. So all I had knowledge of was what people told me, and it's good that you corrected. It was a rumor, not true. Was
There's
it
a lot
true
of
about
rumors when
him?
these things happen,
Uh-huh.
And that movie, Sophie's Choice, she did make a choice. That she chose her daughter for death, and the reason why is that she knew that her daughter had a better chance to live than her
Right,
son did,
right.
and ultimately they both children lived. It was the right choice, but it's a
Well, I
terrible
think both
thing.
children died, but I'm not sure on that. I read the
Okay,
book. I read the book.
I watched the movie, so maybe the movie's different.
It was a brilliant, brilliant movie, and I do believe Meryl Streep won the Oscar. It was so
Yeah,
powerful that now, when was it made? I saw it on cable 20 years since. It lives
1982.
within me as true art can be, and we're talking about it.
I actually don't remember when
Ni-
it was made, but it would have been the
1982.
early '80s. I'm thinking.
Long time
Yeah,
ago.
I remember 1982. Yeah.
But I think
40
the
years ago.
point
Yeah.
is some people have terrible choices in life. And we all have choices. That was stark and extreme, but sometimes we have extreme choices. Like some people have older relatives, and sometimes in hospitals, they have to decide to take the terminal ill person they love off the machines. Actually, that's probably common.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually just wrote my second will recently,
Uh-huh.
and I'm giving my daughter power of attorney over my medical
Wow.
health,
Uh-huh.
and that'll be one of the things that I don't want. I don't want what do you call it, heroics,
Uh-huh.
but only in the case of if they want to harvest some of my organs, they can
Uh-huh.
keep me on life support until that's done, and then just get rid of me.
I love that choice, and I hope I need to make a will, I guess, but
Well,
I
I
would
don't want my
duplicate what you
kids
said.
having to make that decision for
Yeah,
me. That's a terrible thing to do to your children. I think.
I'll tell you what happened to a relative within the family. Um, Death, terminating a life is illegal in California, but hospitals get around it, and they did so with this relative. What happened was, this is really sad. Sorry to be so depressing, but it's life. That she had Alzheimer's, right? And she got worse and worse and worse. And she got a broken foot or something. And they put her in the hospital, and they put her in a coma, and they fixed the arm, but her brain um, uh, didn't tell the throat to swallow. She lost that ability. So not
So
only
her
was,
brain wouldn't resuscitate itself.
well, in this case, she couldn't swallow anymore. And the doctor said it's because the Alzheimer's was so bad that it was disconnected, that they could not feed her. I'm sorry, she could not swallow and eat food anymore. So she was in such bad shape that there was a special person at the hospital in charge of talking to people about dire life death issues. And the person went to the family and said, why bring her back? Why bring her back? So and the family decided that it was somehow more sympathetic to not bring her back to life. So it's illegal to kill a person in the hospital, but they got around it by starving her to death. So they kept her under. Strangely, they kept her hydrated, and for a week they just kept her off food, and eventually she died.
Oh man,
Legally, I
that's
guess.
real. Yeah,
Terrible choice, right?
yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they were given bad advice.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like they
Well,
didn't know what the
it
consequence.
wasn't my
Well,
choice.
it sounds like they didn't understand the consequences of their actions.
Right.
That's what it
Could
sounds like
be.
to me.
Yeah, could be, right?
Yeah, somebody gave them terrible advice. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. These choices are so terrible.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Sure.
I served jury duty when I was living in Canada. So a jury of 12 people have to agree. There were 3 charges. 2 were misdemeanors. 1 was a federal charge. So we were in the Supreme Court, not regular court, and it was a serious charge. Now, there was absolutely no evidence that this person had done anything like what the charges were in the federal charge at all. There was absolutely proof of the 2 misdemeanors. Guilty, guilty, no problem. But there was one woman that wanted to find him guilty in this federal charge because of her religious beliefs. Terrible decision on her part. It took us days to change her mind. She didn't understand that the punishment should fit the crime. Or you understand what I mean? She just
Yes.
thought if someone said, "Oh my God," or something that sounded blasphemous to her, he should go to prison. That's her feeling. That was her thought. That was a jury of his peers saved him from prison because believe me, they wouldn't have charged him unless they wanted him to go to prison. But they really had nothing, you know. They, unfortunately for the Supreme Court, had nothing. They had nothing to base it on. So luckily they had me there because I wasn't going to let some guy to go to prison
Uh-huh.
over some kind of
Oh, she left. Something happened.
She didn't have. I think her internet is.
Maybe it's a computer. Sometimes it's overly sensitive, and I press the right button or it gets close to it. It doesn't
She'll be
sound
back.
like. Yeah, she'll be back. To
She's
answer,
back.
I wanted to add that it's terrible choices. Look at the death penalty, because it's a fact that innocent men have been put to death.
Yeah.
So mistakes are made.
I hit the phone with my cheek and it knocked me out.
Yeah, sometimes my finger will just go close to something and it'll go off. I don't know.
Yeah, I just rubbed it with my cheek.
Yeah.
I'm
Talk to your
nowhere
cheeks.
near,
Stop
nowhere near
cheeks.
the
Stay
leave,
away.
right? It was nowhere near the leave button or anything. It was just like, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it's some kind of waves that the motion of the cheek. The computer might be so sensitive. Like I said, that's kind of happened to me sometimes. I'll be right in the middle of a stream and I'll wave or something and the whole thing will shut down, like what happened to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, to answer your
You were live
question,
yesterday, Sam, huh?
what I'm sorry, what
Oh, go
Carly?
ahead, Sam.
So to answer your question
Oh, you were.
about Rev, Rev, this good guy, well, he wasn't good, but he changed direction story because he, in 300 streams, he never on air doxed anybody. So he came up a second time. Marie came on, right? And he was banned at that point because when he had previously doxed Marie, I said, you're off. But Marie came up and then Rev came backstage and I said, I don't want to bring him or something like that, but I think it should be up to you, Marie, because you were the victim. So she said, yeah, bring him up. He came up, Marie, and he porn bombed. Something he had never done before.
Are you
and
serious?
So other people like
I would never guess that he would do that.
No. So other people still said, oh, it's funny. B-Sox, another guy said, I said, call him out, B-Sox. He porn, but B-Sox said it never happened to him. Well, he later went on Wendy porn bombed her, and he later, Reb, went on David Waltz, and he porn bombed David Waltz.
So
I
is he
saw it.
taking credit for all of this?
Credit, I think I don't know why he's doing it, but someone said he's going to continue. He started with me, and I warned David. I put in chat because it got by David. David, he just, I was banned, I think. So I wrote to B-Sox, who was on the show. I said, tell David that Rev porn bombed him, and I gave the time stamp. And David doesn't keep his streams up, so I don't know what happened. But I would say Carlos and Dory, he'll probably keep doing it because okay, he didn't like me, but
Well,
to
look,
do it to Wendy, who is universally liked, was
right.
even worse than what he did to me.
Well, I think that he possibly did try my last live, which not the one I did today, which was really short, but the last live I did with a couple, maybe 6 weeks or 2 months ago. Someone tried to do that to me. They were backstage, and I saw them, and I didn't let them on. That could possibly have been Rev.
I don't think so, because he just started. My channel's been taken down, so I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying maybe he did. Does he go in your chat?
Well, I'm going to say a couple of years ago, I kind of intervened because he was giving idealization of ending,
Is that when
unaliving himself, I guess is what they're using now. And so I intervened, and I talked to him personally and told him my story about my son, who is no longer with us. And he said that I low-key saved his life that day.
Wow, good for you, Dory. God's work.
So anyway, so he low-key always said hi to me wherever he saw me. And then I'm going to say maybe 6 months ago, he stopped saying hi.
Wow.
But I used to go to his channel to support him for a while because I wanted to see him do better. And then I just kind of, as his channel grew, I kind of let it go, because I'm not saying it's not my responsibility. I do believe that if you're not part of the solution, you could be part of the problem.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I didn't want him to think that I'm the only person that can save him. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I didn't want to just keep going after he had, gathered what I felt was enough support around him.
Right.
And then I guess he's, I don't know what happened, if he's going down the wrong road now.
I put a theory to it that he was with Shaw for a year and a half, and then he met this woman in the Poconos. It was a disaster. Nicola. Afterwards,
but that was a long time ago.
That was like over a year ago. You're right.
I think it's even longer than that, because I think it was.
Well, it could be longer than that. Yeah.
I think it was before me talking to him.
Oh, okay.
So,
but my what I'm saying is that I saw a change in his behavior. He says he loves her. Well, love can make you better, hopefully, but it certainly he certainly got worse after hooking up with her, for sure.
Okay. This is what I want to say about love, and whether it's internet love or other kind of love. The person saying they love somebody is actually having a better time than the person who's not saying that.
You could be in the concept of love and get some transactional good stuff from the idea of being in love, because love is so much projection in the beginning anyway.
Right,
you put I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying that the person that says they're in love is having a better time because they're having those feelings.
I agree with you.
Regardless of what the actuality of it is.
Completely agree.
Right in front of you or online, either way.
Yes.
So I remember this woman, and She was a doctor, and she was also a billionaire. And I knew her when I lived in Seattle,
Uh-huh.
and she had a love affair with somebody that was one of my best friends. And she was like very disturbed. And I can't give people advice, especially somebody that's got degrees and money and all
Well, I
kinds of
have a
things.
master's in clinical psych, by the way.
Right. So, but anyway, so she was sitting there and she was crying, and I said, "Look," she said, "I understand he wants to talk to his friends." I said, "Look, you're lucky." And she said, "What?" I said, "Because you felt love for somebody else.
Right.
That's your value that you're getting from this.
Right.
I can't make somebody feel the same way about you, or neither can you. But you
Right.
were the lucky one because you got those good feelings
Right.
that nobody else in the situation got. So don't despair.
Exactly
Don't
correct.
be so sad,
It made her happy,
Yeah, it did.
and that's what happens. Remember, first love projection is when we fall in love with somebody. Someone said that we bring every other relationship we had into it, and love is so much a projection. And then as we are with the person, I think love becomes more reality based. But in the beginning, it's all about our projections and maybe how they come across at first. And most of us want to present our best selves at first. And then in relationships, I'm married currently,
I,
you discover the real person, and love may become more real and stronger, or in a lot of cases, love go away.
well, I'm the opposite of that. I like to present my worst side so
Uh-huh.
everybody can get used
Oh,
to me real
interesting.
quick.
I
If
don't
you
know
get
if they'll
through that, then
continue
maybe,
loving you.
maybe,
I think
maybe
most
you do
people
like
are
me.
not like you. And especially men, because there's something we want in our nature, and that's a physical relationship, and you just forget about it if you put your worst foot. So a lot of it is toward that goal, and hopefully along the way of that you get a lot more than that physical
Well,
feeling.
I only say that because, like, I feel like there's a difference between men and women, and men are much more driven than women are when it comes
Uh-huh.
to love. And
I agree.
if he doesn't have that drive,
I
then
agree.
he can't overcome the negative side of me.
Well, that
That's
drive
all.
leads to negatives sometimes, but I think you're right. I think because women have to give birth in an evolutionary sense, they had to be more careful, whereas men, biologically, the drive is to reproduce through their biology. Whereas women, it's to reproduce, but they have to be more careful because they have to stick around for 9 months, whereas the man can get his pleasure and leave.
Well,
Women
sometimes
have to
it's
be
not
more
as much
careful
fun as they
because they
think
have
it
the
is.
children.
Let's just put it this way: sometimes it's not as much fun as they think it is when they're going for it.
Well, after the poison leaves, frequently the men do, and the women are still there because it's such a drive. And I know people don't like Freud, but drives drive us for sure. It's like a weight on me, Carlos. When I go long without physical intimacy, I like walk around with a weight, and that's my hormones. Hormones are so real. And a good thing about getting past 14, 15, the hormones don't drive as much. Whereas with women, I heard like the top of their sexuality might be 40 or 30. I think it's different for men. And I'm glad I'm not 14 or 15 because, that weight was so much stronger. It's biology. And hopefully we have the values and that good part of us saying, keep down, be good, follow values, go for love. And we keep down that id part of us. We need to.
So, what do you
Some
think
of us
about
don't.
whiskey? What do you think about Whiskey OG manipulating all these women in his chat now?
I don't know that person. I only follow a few people. I've heard the name. I follow Carlos. I follow Evil Abe, who's great. I follow the Girdle Man because he attacks me, and I'm interested. And so I don't. Can you explain it? I don't know this situation.
I don't know the Girdle Man, but
I mean the
Whiskey
situation of
OG.
Whiskey OG. That's
Well,
David Walsh, the Girdle Man.
I did a video, and it was I forget what I named it, but The I opened it with the song "This Girl Is on Fire,"
I know that song.
and she's walking on fire, and that was
Uh-huh.
for this girl called Vivian Sanchez. I don't know if you've heard of her.
No.
Anyway, she has a thing for Whiskey OG. Whiskey OG has an online girlfriend called Misfit Jenny, and
Oh, I've heard that name, but I'm not familiar. I've heard the name
right.
though.
So Vivian Sanchez took it upon herself to insert herself in the relationship and bring a lot of drama to the situation because she really likes Whiskey OG. But I don't know, like, if she has any feelings of actual
Uh-huh.
love for anyone. She's one of those people that it's difficult to say, you know. Whereas Misfit Jenny is someone that is well loved and liked
Oh.
among,
I remember where I
in the
heard the
community.
name. One of the people I really, really like is Mr. T. And I think if I'm correct, he did a short video. I think he might have mentioned Misfit, whatever.
Right.
So
Well,
now I'm
she's
confused.
gone to,
Uh-huh.
yeah, she's gone to
So,
Poon also when Poon was live, and she goes to Eagle Lake.
oh, really? Well, I don't know what's happened to Poon. It's like he's come in my chat if it wasn't a clone. Miss Blessed has come in my chat, and I hope they work it out. I heard they broke up.
Well, I miss his live streams.
I like him, Dory, and I like her, of course. Of course. She's great, in my opinion.
So I don't know what's going on with Poon either, because I don't really follow his channel, because there's certain people on the internet that you hear enough about them without actually going to their channel.
Oh, I get it.
You know?
He started, Poon Handler started on my channel. The first time he appeared on air, I believe it was with me.
I saw him for the first time on Full On Drama.
Oh, okay. I know her.
Yeah,
Reb used to go on there. But
yeah,
the
Reb
first time was not on Full On Drama. It was on Shaw, my show. The very first time.
I'm just saying that that's where I first saw him.
Right.
And then I heard all kinds of stuff about him off and on. And I think Mr. T was one of the ones who wasn't getting along with him too well.
I like Mr. T a lot.
He would say quite a few things about him.
Well, we fought. I probably spent 50, 60 hours on air. I would go over there and he'd come on. So I know him fairly well. And when he got, this is all on air, I would never dox, he got child porn bombed, right? Which is so atrocious that he needed to talk to somebody, and he phoned me up. And we talked for 6 hours. I think he's a good guy. I think he's made mistakes. And I really like the guy, actually. And I like Miss Blessed. So I
haven't met anyone here that I would want to end their channel or anything like that.
Yeah, me too.
That's how I feel about it. I'm not going to judge people. People do.
Well, I do judge. I think we all judge. I might disagree. I think whether we like it or not, we have to judge.
I'm not the one who's going to be the judge and say you should or shouldn't watch someone. I would never do that.
I do that. Watch Carlos. Well, when I promote somebody, you don't do that, but I do give my opinions.
I'm a grown up, and I can decide who I'm going to watch and not watch. I don't listen to anybody who says, "Oh, you need to go watch this person." No, I don't. I don't need to go watch
Carlos told me something, I'd be alerted. I wouldn't necessarily listen 100%, but there's some people I respect, and if Carlos told me something, I would be on the alert. And I would question. I think we're all affected, most of all, by people we like.
Right.
But generally, I agree with you. We have to make our own decisions. And I have been told many times wrong things. So, of course, we make judgments. But we should reserve complete judgment until usually. So if I attack somebody and they want to come up, I like them to come up to be fair, right? And because I've been fooled so much.
I would love Whiskey to come up on my channel, but he's so terrified of me that he's hard blocked me everywhere.
Well, can you do something for me?
Can
you put your channel and link, because I'd like to check it out?
Oh,
in
can
the
I get
comments?
Carlos to do that
What?
because I'm on a
Could you do
I'm
that, Carlos?
I'm
Uh,
piggybacking on
let me.
Wi-Fi here on my phone
Yeah, I'd
outside.
really like to
Oh,
check out your channel,
okay,
Dory.
let me try. Okay, I'm gonna go.
But like, I would love to have
Okay,
Whiskey
let me
OG
try.
come
Okay.
up on my channel because I do talk about him,
I'd
and
love
I'm
to
not
come
afraid
up
of
on new
him,
channels.
and
So
I don't
thank you.
fall under dictatorship to
Right,
anyone.
right.
So he can
Well,
he can
if it's not able to be linked, can we type in the words on search? What would we type in?
yeah. But if you type my channel
Uh-huh,
name,
uh-huh.
you're gonna find a whole bunch of Disney shows.
Will I be able to figure it out and find you eventually?
It would take a long time. Some of the
Uh-oh.
people I've known like for 4 or 5 years on here, when I
Okay.
changed my channel name, it took them months to find me.
Oh,
Months.
come on.
I hope
Months.
we get the
Okay.
link then. Or how
Yeah,
about this? How about
maybe
putting the
Carlos
link?
can drop a link. Maybe
How
I can
about
type it in.
when the show goes off, can you put it in comments? Would that turn
Well,
up?
if you go if I go into Carlos's stream
Uh-huh.
and type a comment,
Uh-huh.
you can find my channel that way.
Oh, okay.
And my
Could you do that, please?
yeah, my channel name is I Found Dory.
Nice.
Okay, but I can't do it. Maybe
And you'll see her um,
yeah,
avatar.
maybe not today because I promised my daughter I'd leave the
Right.
cafe at 5 o'clock and it's 4:47. So I don't want her to worry about me.
How old's your daughter?
She's 30. I don't know, 8,
Okay.
36. I don't know. Can't remember.
I actually asked
She
because
was
one of the
born in
ways I can help
84.
people is I used to be a teacher and sometimes there's educational issues, but obviously that's an adult.
Well, she was born in 1984. So
Uh-huh.
whatever that is.
That's 39, I think.
She's 39.
Well, I
I don't
was
know.
born in
She was born
83
in
and I'm
November,
38.
so she's 38.
83?
She's
I'm
38. She was born in November.
Yeah, you can be 38 or 39, depending on the month, I guess. But anyway, I know her general age. She's
Oh,
certainly, an adult, obviously.
I was a high school senior when she was born.
Wow, you're older.
I was a high school
Yeah.
senior in 1973.
I didn't finish high school. I had to get a GED, but I was in high school.
Yeah.
Well, it takes some people longer than
Oh,
others.
boy.
Well, it was a situation. I ran away from home, and I was in my senior year.
Oh, I graduated at 16, so I didn't have to run away.
So you probably skipped a grade or something, Dory, right?
I skipped 2 grades.
Wow, 2 grades. That's
Yep.
pretty hard to do. Good for you.
It
I
was easy
skipped
for
1 grade.
me. Are you kidding me? It was easy.
Yeah, because you're smart, but it's hard for most of us to skip 2 grades.
But in the short time that I was in school, I saw a lot of injustice. So I'm out
Of
there
course, right?
fighting fires and
Yeah.
burning things down.
A lot of on the internet, I bring up bully. I say, "Were you bullied?" And just about everybody will say, "No, I wasn't bullied. I fought the bully." But it's BS because in high school, very very few people stood up to the bullies, including me too many times.
Well, I think everybody gets bullied, including the bullies. I think that's just
At some point, yeah, I think you're right.
Nature
Yeah,
thing.
but some people get targeted just like they do online, and I think we know those people in high school. But you're right, we all get in some situations bullied.
Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera on so you can see me walking.
If you'd like.
Because as soon as I get out of the
Oh, I love the trees. Wow.
As soon as I get out of Wi-Fi, you won't be able to see anymore. See where I am?
Yeah. I don't see you right now, but I see the trees. It looks very nice.
Because I'm showing you the scenery around here.
Nice.
I just moved here.
Do you say where you moved to? I don't want you to say it if you don't want to. Of course. Where? Oh, there's a phone. I'll be right back.
Oh, it's a nice place. A nice city. Nice trees.
I find it interesting that I'm still on Wi.
Yeah, nice.
I can't believe it.
I'm back. Beautiful.
Hey.
I see
Yeah,
trees. You look out my window, I see the window of the house across the street. So you're lucky. I love trees, of course.
Yeah,
I
you know,
even
that's why
love
I meant
smoking trees sometimes. You know, I vape
smoking
sometimes.
trees.
Well, smoking green
You know,
flower. Yeah.
smoking.
Did somebody attack you for
You know,
smoking, Carlos, a little bit? Thought I heard that.
no. Oh, here?
Someone
No,
else.
somebody called me here at my house that they were going to be back. It was my sister. She's
Oh.
going out.
Oh,
Oh, man.
well, Dory went off. I don't know why.
Well, the Wi-Fi.
She's nice. Oh, I want to check out her channel because Carlos, seriously, I don't follow that many people because most of the shows bore me, but she sounds skipping 2 grades is a big deal and very hard to do. So she's obviously a very bright woman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she has a lot of stories to tell you. She knows a lot of things. You'll be surprised.
Oh, see, that's what I like. Like,
a lot of stories.
Eventually with you, I want to talk about the Civil War. Do you know much about it?
Not much, but I you know, I'll like to talk about it. Yeah.
Well, Grant made his bones, General Grant, in the Mexican-American War. Did you know that?
Yeah, under Winfield Scott.
But
General
yes,
Winfield Scott.
but what? Because I'm reading this
well
biography. Well, Custer, yes, and later on fought the Native Americans. They called Indians. But Grant said in his memoirs and other places he fell in love with Mexico when he fought in that war, and always loved Mexico from that time forward. And
yeah. You know, there's even a movie where this cheesy movie was made back in '81 where about the Lone Ranger, and there's a scene where they have Jason Robards playing Ulysses Grant.
Uh-huh.
The President Ulysses Grant he's playing, and there's a scene he's riding on his train, and he has some Mexican dignitaries, and it's on his train.
He was friendly with this Benitez, and when he got in trouble, Benitez still maintained contact, and they were friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because there's this funny scene where this Mexican general comes in, and Grant says, "I want you all to meet Mr. General Rodriguez of the Mexican Army." Yes. And then he tells one of his friends, "Come on, man, get out of there, man. Make the general sit around, okay? Get out of there, man." Yeah.
Was that the Johnny Depp Long Ranger movie?
No. This is an old one from 1981.
Different one.
It was with who else was it? That movie? Christopher Lloyd. He was a bad guy.
Oh, Christopher Lloyd from the Back to the Future fame and Taxi.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Oh yes, you did a really good job.
I love talking movies.
What else was it? Yeah, and Jason Robards played President Ulysses Grant. Oh, she's back.
Jason Robards was actually like a Shakespearean actor. He did very well.
No.
I think he was an actor, a real legit actor. Jason Robards, wasn't that him? Jason Robards.
Yeah. Hold it, Sam. Yes. Hold it, Sam.
Sure. Hold on.
Somebody here says Sam Hills Clark. I'm gonna delete this guy because I don't know. He might be up.
No, let me address it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay, let me find it. What happened was that trolls are always after me because I've stood up to groups like RDA. So anything they find is fair. I'll address it. But this was just a cheap slander. What happened was, if I'm reading this comment, Ron, I haven't really read it yet, that on a stream, they thought that I farted. Well, I don't know if they really thought that, but they could make it uncomfortable because if I farted, it's a little embarrassing, but big deal. But it makes me uncomfortable because my stream is not talking about farts. You know, I'll mention it, but that's not where I go for humor. It's kind of, I'm not interested. So they tried to build this up, right? And like shtick. So what I did on my last stream was I heard where they were making it seem like I made a fart. I didn't. It was me pulling my chair out when I ended the stream. So on the stream, I duplicated the sound and showed that it was wrong. It was just some shtick, but it was a lie because once I said I didn't do it because I didn't, it became bigger. It became, did I lie about it? And if I lied about it, it hurts my credibility. So I gave time to it. And you can clearly hear on the stream, I did it like 20 times. I pull out the chair. So it turned out to be a total hoax. So if you're stupid, go ahead and believe the lie that was proved to be a lie, dude. I'll talk about it. I'm not afraid of criticism. Just don't mention my kids, you know. Other than that, I'll address it. They talk about my wife. My wife has been on air. Just, you know, the kids and someone they doctored stream. They used up a soundboard and tried to say I was a groomer, and they used children. It might have been illegal. So what happened was I said, good people who know it's a lie, come forth, and people did. This guy is into the FART. Dude, did you see my stream where I showed that right now you're the fool because you're making a bit that was exposed as a hoax? So there's something about you. He's using my name, Sam Hills Righteous Farts. Dude, there's something about farts that you're preoccupied with. Yeah, fifth grade humor, mention farts, people do it. But the fact that you're coming up with something that's been exposed kind of shows you're stupid. If you want to go at me with the truth, you know? So I'm not afraid of it all. You know, Carlos, 4.5 years, I've heard it all. And I'll talk about it. And if you say I'm boring, okay, I go 12 hours, I'm boring. That's fair. Even the old, because my voice is quirky. I think I proved I'm not, but okay. But when you try to go at me with somebody that's obviously proven to be phony, it don't have much validity. But obviously somehow you're really into this farts. It's kind of stupid.
No,
you might have a problem. You know, some people are twisted and they go into stuff like their fetish would be the scat. Oh man, that's vile. So if you're one of those, I feel sorry for you and you should get help. You know, there's some weird sex stuff that is so vile that it's a problem. It's not some little kink like, oh, you like to do a light spank to your woman with consent. It's really some fetishes are vile, and I think if you're into farts, you got a problem. That's all.
Yeah, he's gone.
It's pretty weird, you know.
He's gone.
Well, he didn't have to be gone. To me, I mean, you're the channel owner, but it didn't bother me, really. Takes more than
no,
that.
I don't like to deal with trolls.
You don't deal with that with slime buckets. I got you.
No,
You don't deal with slime
I don't. I even have that card with my cheese block here.
Yeah, well, you haven't been through the mill like me, but you're nicer than me. I mean, you don't say mean
I also
things.
have that guy. I also have that crazy guy Alpo blocking you too.
I know him. I've been on air. Here's a guy who I don't think he's that good on air. So he comes on. He says his mom's. He's come on, Mr. T. I like Mr. T a lot. So this Alpo guy comes on and he lies. He says his mom's a psychologist. So because I have a degree, I start talking, and he didn't know anything about it. So I think he lies too.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a fan.
He also says that he owns about 10 or 20 computers or something.
Yeah, he's a liar. And once people, I think they lie, I kind of lose interest unless they're funny. And some people think he's funny. I just don't. Honestly,
No, I don't find
you
him.
know,
He just comes in. Well, the people from Boyd, the crew Boyd,
I don't know
find
them.
him.
I was never part of that or followed. The only Boyd connection, maybe I'm not. Evil Abe is #1 streamer, and I think Mr. T is somehow knowing, but I really don't know about this Boyd.
No, okay. The Boyd is it's people like from Mr. T, Evil Abe. Who else?
I probably heard about them through listening to Evil Abe, who we agree is a wonderful streamer.
Yeah. Yeah, but there used to be some good streamers in Boyd, but they don't.
Probably, if these two people were connected with it, Mr. T is one of my favorite people for sure.
Yeah, he's one of them, and there's another guy.
Okay.
Let's see, what's the other guy's name? Oh God, who streams in Boyd?
There's people who went after this rebel. I think his name was Andrew. He may have come from that.
Oh no.
No,
that's
different.
A community.
I get confused. I don't know.
Yes, that's
a lot.
That's a rebel. That's from the they're mostly a Watchdog community.
Oh,
that one over there. They go after,
I came up with rebel because my true opinion is that I like rebel and I like his enemy. I've gone to like tonic, right? So all I said on a show was I like both of you. And from that, there was this other guy on with him, Toady or something. They started attacking me as a troll. And I'm anything from a troll. I've stood up to groups. I'm no troll. I'm one person. And he kicked me off. So he kicked me off backstage and they go attacking me, right? So he didn't kick me completely off. I was backstage and he let me off in 5 minutes. And then I said, man, first of all, how you know me? How can you say I'm a troll? He thought, so his argument was that I go in Discord like these other people and plan attacks against Rebel. And I said, if you kept me up, here's the fact. I'm not even in Discord. I'm not in one. So we kind of talked it out, but I didn't like that he kicked me off and attacked me. Let me stay up and defend myself if I'm not rude. And I was like talking to him like I'm talking to you now. So I'm kind of, I don't know if I want to go back up there because he just be fair, attack me. Because I'm smart. I go with the real. So this little troll want to talk about farts. Okay. But if you're Carlos, you don't have to deal with that bullshit. Some people do. I will, I respect it.
Well, Evil Abe will also
I do. Evil Abe sometimes like me, he gets tired, but he's great at it. He's got talents. And I think being an on-air person, I appreciate Evil Abe in some ways that most people can't, because I see how he uses his voice and I see how he develops a concept. I mean, I really get into the intricacies. And Evil Abe, and I've said this, and we fought a little bit. We fought, even that when I was mad at him. He has wonderful talents, Evil Abe.
Yeah,
and a good guy. Wrong sometimes, for sure. He's human. He's wrong. He's funny. He can do so much, Carlos. He can be funny. He can be serious. He can be satiric. He can be real. It's that he can do so many things. Whereas some people are second tier, like this Girdle man. He only does one bit. Most of these people are second tier because they can only go in one direction. They got one. Man? Well, the Girdle man is David Walsh, who told me he's gone after me bad. He's called me a demon. He's brought up my wife, blah, blah, blah. So once he brings up stuff like that, then I can bring up the truth. Well, this Girdle man told me he was drunk. He said he wears a size A bra. So I'm thinking, well, he might be honest, but it might be shtick. But then this RDA did a whole stream showing and convinced me that the guy actually wears a girdle, right? And we know some people are cross-dressers. So from that, I remembered all the things that the Girdle man told me. He said he had been in Cook County Jail. So if he was a cross-dresser, I figured, well, he's a good-looking guy. I'm heterosexual, but he's a good-looking
Yeah.
guy. So what happens to a 19-year-old goes in the jail system? Very many get punked out and abused by the other inmates. So if he got punked out, he might have built an association between sex and pleasure because, unfortunately, whatever, the butt can have little pleasurable sensations. And I think that's
Hey,
what
what up,
happened.
White Tupac?
You know, so it
What up,
interests me.
White Tupac?
But hi, White Tupac. But if somebody attacks me, well, then I respond. I'm not the guy who is quiet. So when RDA made a loathsome slander against me, I didn't shut up. I said, "Good people, you know it's wrong. Call it out." And that's partly what I do good, and I do it on stream. And if someone attacks Carlos, I'm going to defend you with the truth that you're a good guy.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Thanks.
And if Carlos was more about drama, he'd have more views. But if you want to have a good conversation, this is the place to be, which is one of the reasons I'm here.
That's true. I don't like to do drama or bring people like
that's your philosophy. I don't mind it. I even but I just spent, you were talking about Grant. I just spent 1,000 pages, in this biography by Chernoff, 1,000 pages on Grant. So I feel like I'm able to speak on Grant a little bit. And I've talked about, I have a personal connection. I might have mentioned to you that I had an ancestor who was buried in the local Gray cemetery where I was born. And on the grave, and we talked about in my family, that this relative died at Shiloh, which was Grant's big victory, first victory in the Civil War. So I have even a little personal connection to it,
Oh, I see.
He was a great man, Grant. Great man.
Yeah.
And I think African Americans, at least those who know the history, dig him after Abraham Lincoln. He's like number 2, if you know the history, because he protected the rights of blacks after the Civil War. He got through an amendment giving blacks the right to vote. So that's history. You learn to appreciate heroes. And Grant, now the how they slander him, the historians, some of them, is he drank. He was an alcoholic, right? But he never drank. He never drank in battle. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah.
So whatever you say, he was great in battle. He was a genius based on he won the war. There were many generals Lincoln had who failed, right? And by the way, Custer, this is why Custer was such a dummy. Custer was going after Native Americans, and he was told to wait for reinforcements before you engage, because the Native Americans at the time outnumbered the federal troops under Custer 10-1. Guess what? He didn't wait for the reinforcements. He went into battle. He was so arrogant, and most of us have heard about Custer's last stand, and he got wiped out. Right? Because he was arrogant. He was a very arrogant man, whereas Grant never seemed to have that arrogance, because in real life, apart from the military, he was a failure. He was so poor that he chopped wood and sold it in the local city to feed his kids. So Carlos, he never made it in non-military life, but in the military, he was a genius. So if not for the war, he would have been a failure. But because of the Civil War, he was at his greatest when it counted. And he was a great general. Lee was a great general, but he was a traitor, because the rebels, especially the ones in the military, you sign a pledge under God to observe the Constitution. So Lee represented an army that wanted to rebel, that was treason, right?
Yeah.
But was he a great general? Of course. Because he was such a great general, Carlos, he cost many lives, because the war would have stopped and there would have been fewer battles. But because he was so great, the war continued, which was bad, because the Union won, and it cost many lives, because if he had been worse, the war would have ended. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And no more battles, no more lives. lost. Like, well, Shiloh, it was going to happen because that wasn't the end, toward the end. So and many people in the South, maybe the North, if your family's been around in Civil War days, will have a personal connection because it killed obviously more Americans than any other war. 750,000 lives lost in the Civil War due to the Civil War. Carlos, there were only 40 million people in America at that time.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Wow. And not only that, in Russia, during the what was it called, the revolution, the Bolsheviks and the
Bolshevik
White
Revolution.
Army, yeah, I think there was more than 1 million people lost it.
Oh, dude, Russian. Somebody was talking about Russian, like in World War II. Well, I read this. I think it's true. I read that out of 10 soldiers lost in World War II died, 7 were Russian, because part of what Russians do is they just hoard. And during the Bolshevik Revolution, it was a dictator. The communism is basically has practiced a dictatorship, right? Stalin was a dictator, which meant he was ruthless. So whereas in a democracy like America, we care about civilians and our soldiers, a communist dictator tends to care less about individual sacrifice. So Stalin, in the revolution, it wasn't Stalin, it was Lenin, right? Mm-hmm. Stalin might have been one of the underlings, but in the Russian Revolution, it was Lenin versus white Russians and the monarchy, because before communism, it was a czar. So the revolution was against the czar, and there were different kinds of communists. Trotsky was a different kind of communist. Stalin was Bolshevik, but the main leader at the time was Lenin. And they overthrew the monarchy and like the peasants, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives that you're talking about.
Yes, but one other thing, it was in Russian, history that I forgot what I was going to say. For example, according to some historians, Lenin, just before he died, he was gonna do some reforms. He said that the communism is not gonna work out.
Oh,
we better do some.
So he was going to reform communism. The one theory is that he was poisoned. Lenin was poisoned, and they have they embalmed him up, and they have a place where you can go in and see the body, the dead body.
He was going to allow. Well, yeah, but he was going to allow private property.
Right. So if he was poisoned, you can see where the Orthodox communists would say he was a traitor, because that's not pure communism. Pure communism is everything is owned by the government, and you're talking about him giving individual property rights, which goes against Orthodox communist thought by Marx.
Exactly.
So,
but he said that this ain't going to work, he said.
Yeah, and it didn't, because eventually communism fell. It took a while, but eventually he was proven right.
A lot of countries, they fought against, their philosophies fighting against the exploiters of the working man. Yeah. But it turns out to be later, they were doing the same thing.
Well, the hypocrites, right? Even Carlos, in our little world, there's so many hypocrites. Like, I got this B-Sox co-host, right? And here's the hypocrisy, that he got porn bombed by Gino, Not Late Geno, and he raged, right? But when Not Late Geno porn bombed me, he didn't care. So porn bombing was so bad, and I said, B-Sox, call it out. And this hypocrite said, well, Not Late Geno didn't porn bomb me, or Rev didn't porn bomb me. You get the hypocrisy. If something's wrong, it's wrong when it happens to other people.
Exactly.
So
Hold
if
on,
you have a
hold on.
phone call, man, go get it.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Just
And take as long. If it goes a couple minutes, I'll go off.
okay, just a second. Okay.
Go ahead. That's the cool thing about a stream. It's not major importance. One of the best people you meet such cool people who are actually heroes. So David Folds is in the chat of Carlos' show. And if you want to ask me anything, most people disappoint David. B-Sox, boy, did he. B-Sox, I've helped so much. That's the teacher in me. And I'm against him, David, because I heard him go on the Girdle Man show, and David said to him, B-Sox, say fuck you, Sam Hill. And this man who I brought up and wanted to promote repeated what David told him. David said, B-Sox, say fuck Sam Hill. And David, he said it. So I'm done with him.
Sam, I'm going to be back just a second, okay?
Well, I think I might go off, Carlos. This might be a good time for me to go off because you have a couple things to do anyway. So listen, right. I always look anytime you're on. If I can come up, you're one of my favorite people, or it wouldn't be up.
Okay.
So thank you for streaming.
Okay. I'll be
Okay.
right back. I'll be right back, folks. Anyway. All right. I'll be. Yeah. I got to open the door here. Okay. Okay. All right, Sam. Let's see. Oh, David, man, that is fucking horrible, man. Jay Leno. Yeah, I hope they put him in jail, man. Yeah. I want to rent you, David. Hold on. Hey, David, if you're still there, I rent you already, okay? Well, I'm gonna see you guys later. But anyway, thanks for coming.